Hi, welcome to the Hyeland Brief. My name is Sevon. Today's topic's a little bit different. It's not really about the Highland Project so much, or even Tennessee, although there's some through lines there. I just want to put out the warning. I've been sort of deemed conspiratorial by my family and friends for the longest time. But what I could be saying is completely false. But I read this book and saw some videos around this concept called the Great Taking, and it really was shocking, but it also at the same time made so much sense. So I don't know if you're familiar with the WEF's "You will own nothing and be happy," and it's like a provocative thing, right? By what mechanism would you own nothing, right? Is it like metaphorical, or is it like a real thing? You know, how could you own nothing? Well, this Great Taking, this book written by a former hedge fund manager, explains in great detail with primary sources how you can eventually own nothing. And the summarized version is that pretty much all the assets out there, all the mortgages, all the companies, all the stocks, all the assets owned by the companies, they're being held by financial institutions, right? Like, the money's in the bank, your money's in the bank, but the bank doesn't necessarily own them. There's some clearinghouse that owns all the stuff. And so you have all these different smaller financial institutions that are owned by bigger ones that then hold their money together in these centralized clearinghouses. And the laws have been changed recently whereas before, normally, if one of these clearinghouses went bankrupt, the person whose name is on the title of the asset, right? So if it's like the title to your home or your car or a company stock, right? Your name's on the title. Normally, what you would expect is that in a bankruptcy, you wouldn't lose your ownership, right? It's your name on there. And even though they're held in collateral, when they liquidate, you would have standing, meaning you get paid out first because you're not the one making the bad investments. It's like they're just holding your asset. But what actually is the case is that they're taking your assets, they're essentially gambling with them. They're taking loans out against the value that they own or they hold, which is what you own, okay? And if they go bankrupt, you will not be made whole. You will not have standing. So unless the stock is in the safe in your house, there's no intermediary, there's no third party. And this could be, for anything. It could be crypto, a mortgage, the title to your car, title to your, stocks. Unless you have sole custody, physical custody, when they go bankrupt, you will lose it. And it's been designed to make you lose it. So people have asked me, like, okay, suppose I agree with your premise that this is well documented. Suppose I agree with the premise that it's well documented. Excuse me one second, I'm getting attacked by a mosquito. Suppose I agree with the premise, okay? Why would they do this? Wouldn't that create like a social revolution? I don't think people would stand for that, blah, blah, blah. And I found that compelling. I couldn't give a good reason other than I would say, oh, well, it's backdoor communism, And it is. But I actually figured out why this would be. It's because they're going to come with the solution that actually enslaves us. Okay, so that sounds very conspiratorial. That sounds very tinfoil hat. What are they going to do? You heard about central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. You've heard that no one wants it, right? But guess what? If you go from, let's say you're, a boomer, you're an older person, you have like $1 million worth of equity in your house, but maybe like you took out a loan against it, maybe like a HELOC, right? All right, so when this triggers, the collapse triggers, you would go from having $1 million of equity and your net worth going from $1 million to zero overnight, and they're gonna come and say, it's okay, we will make you whole. You will once again have $1 million worth of equity, of net worth. but we're going to give it to you in the form of central bank digital dollars, digital currency, which we happen to have like way more control over. And the next time there's like a lockdown, we can control you even more. And if you don't behave right, you don't think right, we can turn it on and off. That's coming, I think. And this is the mechanism that they will do it with. And so you will get all this resistance where people are like intellectually, they fear this concept, and they will instead embrace it because it will make them from being extremely poor to once again made whole. The difference will be they will own nothing, but they will be happy. And that is horrifying. I think that is horrifying. So what can you do? Don't have anything in custodial solutions, in the bank, anything like that, unless you're willing to lose it. In the 2013, 14, 15, when I was telling people on Facebook about Bitcoin, I always prefaced it. Do not invest anything more than you are willing to lose. Today, I tell you, do not invest anything and do not put any value, any money, any cryptocurrency, any car titles, anything with a third-party intermediary unless you're willing to lose it. Thank you.